Republican congressmen are not reacting well to the newly revised guidelines from the CDC that encourage both vaccinated and unvaccinated people to wear masks in certain areas of high infection rates. And so it has also led to the reintroduction of a face mask mandate in Congress. So that's why Republicans are incredibly mad. Um, in fact, here you have Lauren Boebert apparently having some sort of meltdown. Boebert was accused, according to journalists who were there, of throwing a face mask at a congressional staffer after she was offered one in the wake of the COVID rules being introduced. Boebert, let's see, this is according to Ben Siegel. Representative Lauren Boebert just threw a mask back at a Democratic floor staffer who tried to give her one, per source on the House floor who saw it happen. As of last night, the latest House guidance requires mask wearing on the floor and in most group/meeting spaces. CNN's Manu Raju also tweeted this. A witness told me they saw Representative Lauren Boebert throw a mask back at the floor staffer when she was trying to walk onto the floor maskless. So immediately, I think, baby, sad, like a child. But unlike children, of course, she should know better. Ms. Boebert's office told The Independent that she, quote, refuses to comply with Speaker Pelosi's anti-science totalitarian mask mandate. And that Americans should not consume to the bully tactics from extreme leftists. If members of Congress cede our freedoms here, what hope is there for people we represent? Hey, look, if you think that Nancy Pelosi is an extreme leftist, why don't y'all come meet my friends? We'll read theory together. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. Or your head will explode. I don't know. You want to meet some communists? I know some communists. Some real ones. All right. But look, Lauren Boebert, she's a clown, of course, but she's not the only one. In fact, Republicans have been spending their last few days crying about masks. As CNN reported, Kevin McCarthy earlier had falsely accused the recommendations as, quote, the recommendations as being, quote, not a decision based in science. Oh, really? No, it's not science. Really? This according to the attending physician in the House, it is based on science. And the CDC, by the way, I think the CDC relaxed their mask mandates a little too early, as we kind of knew that the levels of unvaccinated people and the people who hadn't been following the mask mandates before were going to spawn a horrible variant. And that's exactly what happened. And now we've got the Delta variant that is going all over the country and hitting unvaccinated people incredibly hard because it is that much more infectious than the original COVID-19 strain. But nonetheless, let me go to Pelosi, by the way, because I actually like this answer. Because for once, she's not punching left. She's punching right, and I do enjoy it. Ms. Pelosi, the Democratic House Speaker, told reporters on Wednesday that Mr. McCarthy was a quote-unquote moron for disagreeing with the CDC's advice and that of the attending physician. I enjoy that. You know, it's good. It's good. It's good when she doesn't punch left because she can get a little sassy, and I actually kind of enjoy that. When she's right, she's right. All right? So we'll just do that. That said, here we got more people, many more chuds. Here's, for example, Chip Roy.
We have a crisis at our border, and we're playing footsie with mask mandates in the people's house. I mean, it's absolutely absurd what this body is doing, the people's house. It's an embarrassment. It's a mockery. And the American people are fed up. They want to go back to life. They want to go back to business. They want to go back to school without their children being forced to wear masks, to be put in the corner, to have mental health issues. And we're running around here, and the speaker comes down here at 10 o'clock in the morning saying we got to wear masks in the people's house while we've got thousands of people pouring across our border, and Democrats don't do a darn thing about it, heavily infected with COVID. We are absolutely sick and tired of it, and so are the American people. This sham of an institution is doing nothing for the American people, nothing for the betterment of the people that send their representatives here. Cartels are raping and pillaging and killing. And we have people infected with COVID coming across our southern border into Texas, and you all put masks up front here on the people's house. We got to go around and see, okay, we can't come to the floor. I can't execute my constitutional duty unless I wear a mask. Well, which is it? Vaccines or masks? Do the vaccines work or they don't work? Do the masks work or they don't work? I'd like to know which it is. I'd like Dr. Fauci to come down and answer a single question about natural immunity.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, like, the performative grandstanding from people like Chip Roy is so fucking tiring. The guy's reading from prepared remarks. He didn't mean a goddamn thing. And of course, he's like, oh, we're talking about masks when we have a crisis at our border with the dirty, infected immigrants of the virus that I don't believe in and won't protect myself and my colleagues from. Like, what the fuck, dude? Chip Roy, clown. And by the way, I wish more of our Congress people, Democrats included, were as outraged about 50,000 plus people that die every year from lack of health care, that, as Republicans are angry about masks. Okay? But no, of course they're not. He rages about it's the illegals, and then, of course, my own personal discomfort, and therefore, and interesting, by the way, the timing here, because they're a few days away from taking like an entire month off in August recess. Get the fuck out of here. But there's more. Oh, of course. The parade of clowns never ends with the Republican Party. Representative Tony Gonzalez said that all Nancy Pelosi, once again Pelosi, wants Republicans to talk about how they have to wear masks at work. What? No, she look, if anything, Nancy Pelosi wants to talk about what happened on January 6th because it's a political winner. She doesn't want to talk about it's ridiculous. Republicans are the one that they're the ones that want to talk about this. In fact, here's what Gonzalez says. She wants us to talk about this ridiculous mask mandate. She wants to divide us, but we're not going to be divided. What? Oh, okay. Nope, there's more. Representative Brad Wenstrup of Ohio, who, by the way, had to go out of his way. I'm a doctor, You're a podiatrist. Sit the fuck down. He complained that he has to wear a mask in the Capitol while people outside of the building in Washington, D.C. don't have to wear the mask. It's almost as if he doesn't understand the difference between inside and outside. The CDC, the guidance was, hey, in certain places in the area where COVID-19 is, having a resurgence, people should, unvaccinated, vaccinated, you should wear masks in these certain places indoors. And he's pointing out the window and he's saying, look at those people. They're not wearing masks. I shouldn't have to wear a mask when I'm in here. Clowns. Oh. The House has its own indoor rules, you jackhole. Idiots. And here's the irony, by the way. The mask mandate wouldn't be needed in the House, I'm assuming, if everybody was vaccinated. No, the Democrats are vaccinated. And they'll come out and tell you, of course they got a vaccine. I'm not an idiot. But then you have Republicans that are like, no, you got Miss HIPAA, Marjorie Taylor Greene over there screeching that it violates her rights if a reporter asks her if she got the vaccine. Which, by the way, is not true at all. It's not true at all. It turns out, I'm going to read from HIPAA, okay, that any organization can ask any employee, customer, or relevant third party whether or not they have been vaccinated against COVID-19 without violating HIPAA. She doesn't know what HIPAA is. There's more. Employers have a duty of care under OSHA to provide a safe workplace for employees. To fulfill the duty of care, an employer can ask for proof, a vaccination passport, against COVID-19, subject to the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission guidelines and state legislation. Meaning that, of course, if an employee is unable or unwilling to provide the proof of vaccination, the employer may be entitled to enforce workplace safety policies such as mask wearing or social distancing, which is exactly what Nancy Pelosi in the House of Representatives is doing by putting up the mask mandate. They're saying, well, we have the right to do that, so we're going to do it to protect the safety of our employees. Because it's not just, by the way, not just the Congress people themselves, but you also have staffers and reporters as well, the press pool, etc. And so they have absolutely the right to do that. But no. These Republicans, again, they'd rather lie about HIPAA, which, again, if you read HIPAA, I just did, all right? The regulation says you can absolutely. Now, look, there are some situations where you have to be careful what you inquire off of that and what you ask, and of course, even making reasonable accommodation for people who are unable to get the vaccine, or even have religious exemptions. Which, by the way, that's going to be the next thing. I definitely bet that. It's against my religion to get a vaccine. Oh, really? What religion? Yeah, what did Jesus say about vaccines? I'll wait while you go, consult the Bible on this one. Come on. No, these Republicans would rather act like babies. Now, you might think, hey, that is mean. How dare you diss babies? All right. Well, okay, but the thing about children, and I'm going to defend children, right? The lack of an emotional filter that children have is normal. We all grew up, and they have that lack of an emotional filter because their brain hasn't fully developed. So that's just a fancy way of saying they've got an excuse to throw a fit. That's part of being a child. Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're not children. They should know better. And they absolutely have no excuse to act like babies. Sad. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.